Did you say hello to your father for me? It's very important. Tell him. Tell him I could use some good news right now. I just got the word. The order turned down my latest application. Looks like we'll be having the wedding at Moynihan's after all. Yeah, I know what that crazy little bitch said, but it's not true. I was at home that night. Mrs. Potsdam will vouch for me. Isn't that right, Mrs. Potsdam?
That's right, Mr. Potsdam. Hello, Steve. Care to stay for some pot roast?
Forget the pot roast, Mother. Pot roast isn't for backstabbers, for persecutors. I won't share my meat with him. My meat! My meat! Take that up with the sheriff. He won't believe you either. Someone went and scraped up Johnson's car? Can you imagine? He'd step in a bear trap and chew his own leg off rather than suffer a scratched Tucker. Serves the rich bastard right, if you ask me.
Hello, dear. Come to see Stephanie, have you? She's upstairs. Go right on up. Just remember, she's grounded until the wedding. Give my regard.
If it isn't... Stop mumbling, Steve. I can't understand you at all. If it isn't... Stop mumbling.
You might want... Guess we're having the wedding at Mr. Moynihan's after all. Sorry, I didn't catch that. Give my regards to your parents.
Steve, it's so good to see you again. I get so lonely in here.
I'm sorry. Want to hear what's happening out in the real world?
No. I'd rather forget about Harvest for a while. Come here.
Stephanie?
I feel so close to you, Steve. Like we're the only two people in Harvest. The only two real people. Do you know what I mean? I need to feel something again. This sense I have that I've known you. It's my only link to my past.
Yeah.
Maybe it's different than memory. Maybe we don't remember each other so much as we recall the feelings deep inside. Strong feelings.
Maybe the body has its own memory.
Let's find out. I want you. Make love to me.
I'm sorry. I just wouldn't feel good about it now. When you're feeling less lonely, you'll agree.
If you say so. My faux mother keeps me up on the latest gossip. Not like she really wants to talk to me. More like she's feeding me information. For instance, she told me that Mr. Johnson's Tucker was vandalized. That's another weird thing. Every car I've seen drive by is a Tucker. There were only 31 produced. What are the odds of that?
I've always wanted a Tucker. Funny that Harvest would be full of them.
Any idea who scratched the car? would you do something like that?
It's part of the Lodge initiation.
I see.
Look, I don't know what's going on here, but getting into the Lodge is the best way to find out.
By committing vandalism? It was a crime, Steve.
Don't be so melodramatic about it. I've heard of worse fraternity initiations.
Sorry. When you put it that way, I guess I was overreacting. Is it true? You found Karen?
Yeah, just in time, too. He'd molested her and buried her alive. He couldn't bring himself to kill her outright, so he just decided to stick her in the ground and let fate take its course.
Who? Who would do that to a helpless child?
She says it was Mr. Potsdam. And I believe her.
Oh, Christ. And all this time I've been under the same roof with that thing watching me.
Take it easy, okay?
So, at least they'll be coming to take him away, won't they? You're not making sense. Come back and visit me soon, okay?
I can't talk now.
Okay.
Some rotten son bitch scratched my car. My Tucker, my baby, my poor darling, my sweet cheeks. If I find out who did it, I'll kill him. Just kill him dead. I told that fool sheriff to beef up the patrols, but what does he care? Nobody cares about a limp dick fat boy. Well, I'll make them care. I'll make them care. Good work rescuing Karen. Of course, you queered my play with Edna. But I suppose a little girl's life is more important than my sex life, right? Bye now.
No! Leave that there. If any of it turns up missing.
Marv, what's going on in there?
Go! Go! Steve, is that you? Come to see your poor old dad?
Are you my father? Really? I don't remember you.
Please. I'm not in the mood for jokes.
I'm serious. Why won't anyone believe me?
Well, you always were a kidder, Steve. Just don't make me laugh now. Remember the stitches.
My God. What has she done to you?
She doesn't know you're here, does she? Does she?
No, I had to break in. What the hell is going on in here?
I know it's a mystery to you. The sacred things that husbands and wives do behind closed doors. Maybe we should have that special father-son talk. Especially now that you're getting married. But you need to be forewarned. You need to know what to look out for. The hobby horse and the jello.
That's all right. Don't get worked up. You need your rest.
Yes, rest. But why did you come? You must have had a reason for risking it.
I need some meat, and Pat won't give me any without your signed permission.
Good old dependable Pat. Here, son. Here's my signature. Take it to him, and you won't have any problem. Now go, son. Go quickly, before she comes back.
So, your father okayed the meet, huh? How's he doing? Good, good. Glad to hear it. Here's your meat, son. You run along now. A new shipment of animals has come in, and it's time to start cutting. Can't talk now, Steve. I've got to hose out some entrails. Don't be such a stranger.
Okay. Well, that didn't work. Jeez, what are you doing here?
Just standing here, waiting to be drawn.
You just hang out here? All the time?
I'm not a person, Steve. I'm an object. You'd do well to remember that. A person is his job. Someday you'll understand that. And if you don't, it won't matter, because you'll be dead.
Dead?
Have you gotten your lodge application in yet? Good. You may survive yet. I guess you're here to steal the bolt. Not at all. That's not my job. However, since I am an object d'art, and since art should be interpreted, I'll give you a clue as to where the bolt is located. Darkness gives as darkness gets, but light invoked is light shed.
All right.
Still here, eh?
Where else?
Yes.
Good.
Welcome to our order. The hand that grips my fist. Stephanie.
Hey, it's too bad they don't give scout badges for digging up buried kids. I like to see what that badge would look like. I went over to ask her what it was like, being buried alive and all. But she just stared at me, and twitched, and drew up. Guess I got my answer. Huh. Good. Finally.
Hello, dear. How are you today? You know those firemen? The funny ones with the color sense? Looks like they misplaced a bolt of expensive fabric. Of course, each one of them suspects the other. Looks like a catfight is brewing. Congratulations, hero. You found Karen after all.
You don't seem proud, Mother. I wonder why.
I warned you not to waste time looking for her.
Am I running out of time?
The blood drive is coming soon.
What does that have to do with anything?
If you haven't joined the lodge by then, you'll find out. Still, I'm glad you found the poor baby. She says Mr. Potsdam was responsible for what happened to her. What a silly little girl. Shame on you! Imagine accusing your future father-in-law of a thing like that. Is that how a range rider would behave? I don't think so.
Why would she lie?
Okay, Weisenheimer. Even if he is a child molester, a kidnapper, and an attempted murderer, that's no reflection on what kind of father-in-law he'll be. I just can't wait for the wedding. Can you? Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
That don't mean zip to me. Hey, Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it? See you later, alligator.
Hello, Steve. Care to buy anything? Okay, dear. Come back soon. Naughty fellas like Deputy Loomis aside, I think every man should cultivate an interest in girly magazines, if it'll keep them out of the field of interior design. Those firemen, Betsy, you should hear them carrying on, accusing each other of being thieves. A bolt of cloth disappears, you'd think it was the end of the world.
Sorry, son. No time to talk. Next time...
Think about taking some of that siding off my hands, son. I'll cut you a nice price on it. I tell you, the only thing worse than a fire station full of sissies is a fire station full of peeved sissies. They're all accusing each other of stealing some silk underwear or something. Boy, whoever said fighting fire with fire be happy in harvest? 'Cause we got a fire station full of flamers. Nice to see you again, Steve.
I can't talk now, son. Anytime, Steve.
Halt! Who goes there?
It's just me, Steve.
What do you want? Did the llamas send you? That's good. Someone has to keep them in check. I remember you. You're the soldier I sent to check on the firemen. Did you find evidence of commie infiltration? Thank God for that. Your next assignment is to infiltrate the lodge before it's too late. Get it at all costs, mister. Or God help us all. Remember, duck and cover.
Can't talk now. Don't be...
Seeing you here again. Mr. Johnson says one of my pupils scratched his priceless tucker. I must say, I was relieved when I learned he had no evidence pointing to one of my kids. If he had, some lucky boy or girl would have been in for some quality time. Say, congratulations on finding Karen Fitzpatrick. Don't know how you did it, but if I were still publishing the Sentinel, you can bet I'd run a full profile on you. Drop in again soon. Adult education is a...
Stephen, I'm glad you're here. As a graduate of Gein Memorial, you're a perfect example of what I'm trying to impress upon my class. That discipline forms the leaders of tomorrow. Stop by any time, Stephen.
Can't talk now. Happy?
Don't hurry back.
What makes you think I give a shit about that?
I can't talk now. I feel terrible about what happened at the fire station. Those firemen helped me decorate my diner. I can't believe one of them stole that cloth from the others. It must have been someone else, don't you think?
Bye-bye.
Boy, the way... I'm nowhere near solving the Tucker case, and now I have to deal with a bunch of firemen throwing a hissy fit over some stolen cloth. Can you imagine? What the heck is going on around here? Stop on by any time, Steve.
I'm sorry. In it? Young man, we really... I'd say it's... Young man. I'd say it's...
Hello, Steve. How's the husband-to-be?
Other than having no memory, I guess I'm all right.
All right? You should be ecstatic, considering what you're... You always... Bye now. Sorry. Bye.
Did you say hello? Thank God for that, at least. Those silly willies down at the fire station are just incensed about losing some decorating stuff. Some people. Yeah. Maybe they should be more concerned with fire and less with flame.
Hello, dear. Come to see Stephanie, have you? She's up... Give me...
I'm glad to see you. I feel so alone, cooped up in here. You know the firemen? Someone stole some fabric from them, and they're up in arms about it. Another harmless prank? And how many more harmless pranks will you be pulling?
However many it takes to get in, Stephanie. If I have to use them to escape, then I will.
Are you using them? Or are they using you?
It was just a bolt of cloth.
You've turned the firemen against each other. They think one of their own stole it.
Would you rather stay here? I've heard that harvest is lovely in the fall when the leaves turn orange and gold, and the annual blood drive paints the town red.
All right, all right. You have a point. Come back and visit me soon, okay?
Exquisite cloth. Its loss should trigger quite a bit of dissension amongst our gallant firefighters. Still, that is not your concern. Your next assignment is to break into the tonsorial establishment of Mr. Pastorelli and abscond with his prized barber's pole. Don't be absurd. Of course course you are. This cloth bears witness to that truth. You've already compromised yourself. Stop here, and it was all for nothing. But that's for you to decide. It's lack of respect for authority, a fine trait for a member of the Order. Yes, I approve, Stephen. I hope you succeed in your task. Break into the shop, steal the barber's pole, and bring it back to me. At that point, I shall give you your final task.
Well, that didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, Steve. Consider your get-out-of-jail-free card used. You're free to go.
Yeah.
Leave me alone, will ya? This is the good part. Good. Finally.
Hello, dear. How are you today? Did you hear what happened at the barber shop? Someone broke into Pastorelli's salon and took his antique barber's pole. The next morning, Pastorelli touched some live wires that the thief left lying around and was electrocuted. Well, that darn foreigner got what he deserved, if you ask me, coming into a nice little town like Harvest and stealing business. Heavens, if a bowl and scissors were good enough for your father, I don't see why decent working folk need a fancy wop styling their hair. That's how it goes. First you get a sissy trim, then bang, you're a communist. Isn't it exciting, Steve? 5 days and 1,200 cookies later, the bake sale is already here. Where does the time fly?
Those 1,200 cookies. How many are you taking to the sale?
Oh, about 20. The rest were stale. But the effort wasn't wasted. It's for a good cause. Will you be at the school tonight? That's nice, dear. It's good to be open to new experiences.
Don't you think it's odd having a bake sale to pay for burying out-of-towners?
Gosh, hooties, what should we do? Leave them in the streets?
Of course we should bury them. But why do so many out-of-towners drop dead in Harvest?
I have wondered about that, and I think it has something to do with the air.
But there's nothing wrong with the air. It's perfectly clean.
That's what I mean. Big city folk, they get so used to smog that clean air is a shock to their systems. Gets them every time. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
Hey, Steve, you've been doing a swell job putting the paper out in the morning. You just keep doing that and we won't have any problems. That's not much to ask, is it? See you later, alligator.
Hello, Steve. Those PTA busybodies have hurt my business. Something terrible this week. Nobody's buying my cookies. They're all saving up for the big bake sale. Somebody stole the barber's pole from that nice Italian. Steve, can you imagine? And then they left live wires dangling in a puddle, which Pastorelli immediately stepped in and fried, the stupid dago. Heavens to Betsy, when it rains it pours.
Sorry, son, no time. Well, son, the day of the long-awaited bake sale has finally arrived. Yes, sir, it's gonna be a hot time in the whole town tonight. Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
Think about taking some of that siding off my hands, son. I'll cut you a nice price on it. I was the one what found Pastorelli this morning, after he stepped in the water with the live wires hanging out. His body was so burnt his arms and legs was blackened, fused together, and the sheep was well done too. Problem is, both was burnt so bad, and the flesh all crisp and distorted, limbs melded, you couldn't tell 'em apart. And well, I didn't want to take a chance on eating Italian. No sir, I didn't. Nice to
I can't talk now.
I guess you heard that dang idiot Pastorelli went out and got himself electrocuted. Somebody stole the barber's pole. The alarm system triggered the sprinkler. There was water on the floor this morning, and the darn crook left exposed wires out. The Pastorelli came in, flipped the switch, and then zap! Well, maybe them aliens is hot for colored glass after all. Anytime, Steve.
seeing you here again. My breast just swells with pride whenever I think about the PTA's valuable service in this community. Hope to see you at the bake sale tonight. When I went to get my hair trimmed this morning, imagine my surprise when I learned that the barber shop had been burglarized. And worse, that Mr. Pastorelli had been electrocuted. Harvest mourns the loss of an irreplaceable citizen. All of us will feel the loss only with the passage of time. Drop in again soon.
Stephen, I'm glad that... Remember, Stephen, tonight is the PTA bake sale. You'll be there, won't you? That's good. I hope to see you there. I really do. Stop by anytime.
Can't.
Don't hurry back.
Bye-bye.
I can't talk now. I've whipped up a huge batch of brownies for the PTA bake sale tonight. I just wish I could do more to help out those poor bums. Most of the bums that die in harvest lack the money for a good Christian burial. The proceeds from this sale will help Mr. Moynihan provide them with proper burial services.
Doesn't it strike you as funny that so many wanderers die in harvest?
No, it strikes me as sad. You have an odd sense of humor, Steve. Mr. Pastorelli was electrocuted. He's dead. It looks like some thief wanted his barber's pole but didn't think of the consequences.
Maybe it's what the guy had to do. Maybe whoever it was really needed that barber's pole bad.
That's no excuse for hurting someone else. Even if Pastorelli were alive now, his heart would be broken. And what's a little profit compared to that?
Sorry. Everybody's so darn happy about that darn bake sale. Mrs. Loomis will be there, but the sheriff always says I'm half-baked, so I reckon I got no business going. Anytime, kiddo. Young man, I do hope you'll attend the bake sale and spend heavily. It's for the needy, you know.
Sure. And all they have to do to benefit is die.
A ditch makes a poor resting place. You'll need to learn that, if you ever want to leave harvest.
You make it sound like I have a choice.
A choice that is rapidly vanishing. Join the lodge, Stephen, while you may. I'd say it's been a... Ah, you've taken up photography, I see. Now why on earth would you choose such a grotesque subject?
That John Doe you've got boxed up in the chapel? He didn't just drop dead. Someone helped him take the plunge.
You may be right. I'm a mortician, not a medical examiner.
You don't have to be to know that being ripped to shreds can be detrimental to your health.
This is not something you want to be looking into, young man. That's what we all want.
What game are you people playing?
A game we win or lose together.
Look, are you gonna tell me what I want to know, or do I go to the sheriff with these pictures?
That would be a grave mistake, I assure you. I've told you all I can. My losses have been substantial of late, so I can't offer you money. The only thing I can give you in exchange for the photographs is my tube of Astro Glue. I do suggest you take it, for it's all you'll get from me. A wise decision. When a wasp's nest is stirred up, it is seldom the wasps who grieve later.
Sorry, Steve. So Pastorelli's barber pole got stolen. Big deal. Now me, I know tragedy. Of course, Pastorelli got electrocuted, but at least his pain is over. Bye now.
Did you say? Thank God. You know, with a slaughterhouse full of meat in town, what kind of nutcase would steal a barber's pole? Oh well, Pastorelli won't need it where he is. God rest his soul.
You might want to be... Guess we're having the Give my regards to you. Hello, dear. She's up... Give my...
I'm glad to see you. I understand that bake sale is today.
Yeah, you'd think it was the second coming the way everyone is acting around here.
It's insane. The maniacal attention paid to this bake sale. Like all the women in Harvest came from the same cookie cutter. It's unnatural. Unhealthy. Almost a parody of how things should be. And through my window at night, I see my mother throwing out whole batches of cookies, like an automaton getting rid of its surplus product.
My so-called mother has been baking cookies all week, and then throwing them out. Better that than getting rid of us.
Wait around long enough. I have a feeling they'll get to it. I don't know if you heard or not, but Mr. Pastorelli, the barber, he's dead. Looks like somebody stole a barber's pole from him, then left the exposed electrical wires and some water on the floor. Pastorelli walked in, flipped on the lights, and... Know anything about that? Oh my God! Steve, that was no little prank! A man died!
It was an accident. Forgot about the live wires in the water.
That doesn't change the fact that you killed him. This initiation killed him.
It was just an accident.
An accident which wouldn't have happened if not for the lodge. Don't you see? I'm beginning to think that the lodge poisons everything it touches. Harvest, even you.
I didn't create this situation.
Are you sure?
No. But however it started, I'm gonna see it through to the end.
Vandalism, theft, manslaughter? What's next, Steve? Murder? Look, I know in the beginning I suggested you might check out the lodge. I was more worried about getting out of here than anything else. But now that I know you, I'm worried about you too.
I'm fine.
A man is dead because of you. How can you be fine? You've got to stop this. Tell me, is anything positive going to come out of this lodge initiation crap?
Yeah, or escape, hopefully.
It just seems to me that this order of yours is getting you in deeper and deeper trouble.
They can't make me do anything I don't want to do.
No, but maybe when it's all said and done, you'll want to do anything.
You've got to trust me.
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
And here it is, the object Dodd. Imported Venetian glass and Italian dreams. You have done well. An unfortunate side effect that Pastorelli was electrocuted because you left live wires in a puddle on the floor. But as those with affectations of worldliness say, c'est la vie. Pastorelli's own incompetence caused his unfortunate accident. What does it matter that you left live electrical wires hanging in the water on the floor? If he hadn't cross-wired the alarm system to the sprinklers, he'd be alive today. Of course, you only wanted the bowl, but that hardly matters now. Your final assignment is to set a fire in DNA's diner and let the French fry where they may. So close, and yet so far. What a pity. Tonight, the bake sale commences. Soon, the annual Harvest Blood Drive will be at hand. When sacrifice will be the order of the day, your time in harvest grows short.
Damn it.
Buy some cookies? It's for a good cause. Mercy, what a terrible thing to say. Isn't it, ladies?
Yes, terrible.
Hello, Steve. Why, I never. Isn't that right, ladies?
Yes, never.
Hello, Steve.
Derelicts and bums who wander into town who don't have enough money for a decent burial.
They deserve to be buried. It's the Christian thing to do.
That's awful nice of you. But why do so many derelicts and bums die in harvest?
Don't be such a wise apple, Steve.
Ladies, someone has just burned down the TV station. On the night of our bake sale?
Yeah. Welcome to our order. The hand that grips the life is Stephanie.
What is it now?
Hank,
What?
why are you sitting in front of that blank TV?
Someone burnt down the TV channel. There's nothing on. Nothing on.
Honestly, Hank, you're acting like an alcoholic. I told you all that TV would hurt you.
Watching TV don't hurt me, Mom. But not watching TV hurts bad. If I find out who burnt down the TV station, I'll make him wish he was one of those damn Indians. Good. Finally. Big whoops.
Damn it.
Hello, dear. How are you today? The nerve of some people burning down the TV station to detract from our bake sale.
I doubt the perpetrator did it just to annoy the Harvest PTA.
Coincidence? I don't think so. Just 6 months ago, the newspaper building went up in smoke. Obviously, there's a firebug on the loose. Either that or a communist. Steve, I'm so scared. Now that the bake sale's over, I just don't know how I'll fill my time. Oh, I feel so useless. My goodness. What's wrong with her? My goodness. Oh, it's not as bad as it looks. You just pop them back in. See? As good as new. That tarantula she ate must have had wasp eggs in it.
Don't you think we should get her to a doctor?
What for? She's got her mother. How silly I was, feeling useless just because there are no more cookies to bake. I can still rear my brood. This is a sign, Steve. I have a purpose again.
Glad to see you're feeling better.
Mind, that fire still burns my britches. First the newspaper building, then DNA's diner, then WHAR. I sense a pattern. And any pattern I can't make a dress out of is no darn good. I suppose you heard about DNA's diner burning down. Sheriff Dwayne thinks it was a grease fire. We took a black eye on the bake sale, but I'm sure the Harvest PTA annual blood drive will be more successful. Overall, we made about $200, hardly enough to bury a dead horse, and definitely not enough to cover the annual blood drive.
Annual blood drive, huh?
If you knew how much blood we get, you'd be more impressed. Donations are mandatory, Steve. If you're still here come Sunday, you'll be expected to give.
Until it hurts, I suppose.
Until it hurts. Even Hank will have to donate. Of course, lodge members are exempt. Remember that.
Hey, either way, no one's sticking me with the needle.
We don't use needles. Don't forget to put the papers out for Jimmy. You know how he gets.
There now. See how easy it is? See you.
Hello, Steve. I don't mind telling you, when I heard what happened to the diner, I went out and got me extra insurance right away. I have no desire to wind up dangling from my rafters like Edna. Believe you me. Steve, did you see the fire? As I was watching the TV station go up, I was reminded of the old Sentinel building. When you think about it, you know, 2 communication complexes going up in smoke, you have to wonder if it was a coincidence.
Sorry, son, no time. Hello there, young man. What's the good word?
Someone burned WHAR down last night.
Really? I hadn't heard anything about it. And since I don't have a TV, I didn't notice it was off. Really? Next time you post, don't forget the zip code.
Think about taking some of that. The TV station burning down's been good for business. Lots of folks are thinking of investing in aluminum siding. Nice to see you again, Steve.
I can't talk now, son. I'm busy with this game. Ain't that a kick in the head? First we lose the only barber in town, then poop. No more diner either. Don't that beat all? And now that the TV station's burned down, maybe folks will get off their duff and get outdoors. Live a little.
Maybe take up alien hunting. Say, Clem, will aluminum siding protect you from them alien sensor jobbies?
Nope. You show up on their radar as a hunter surrounded by aluminum siding. Trust me, lead's the ticket.
Just my luck.
Anytime, Steve.
That's far enough, my four-legged friend.
Four-legged?
How long are you going to torment me? You have 2 legs to spare, but no! Llamas aren't like that. They don't care. They don't love. Stay away from now on. Stay away, or so help me next time I'll rain on everybody's goddamn parade.
Kantuk, don't be...
What a good boy you are. Mer
When it rains, it pours. Isn't that so? First, Edna goes through all that with her daughter. Then she loses her Dinah. If that happened to me, I'd hang myself. Drop in again soon.
Stephen, I'm glad that... Ah, Stephen, you're just in time. I was about to administer a lesson in good citizenship to these youngsters. I'm sure one of these precious darlings burnt down the television station. And if the little shits could talk, I'm sure I'd find out who. But as it is... I guess everyone will have to take my special civics course again. Stop by anytime.
Say, can you spare a dime for a buckaroo who's down on his luck? The whole shebang just went up in flames, and I'm looking to mosey on to greener pastures, where the sunset's always golden, and there's always another savage to kill. Say, can you... The whole shebang...
Well, that didn't work. Okay. Damn it.
I'm sorry. Anytime, kid. Young man, it seems that, like some elephant's graveyard, people of low station come to harvest to die. They simply drop dead, penniless, and they all need burials. Like that corpse in the chapel, all dressed up and nowhere to go. No mourners, no point. But I still must provide them with prompt burials by town charter, and absorb the losses myself. God knows, by putting these people up at the Wayward Hotel, I do more than my fair share. So why must I pay for the coffins and burial materials as well? My losses to the dead are substantial. Hopefully the bake sale will offset some of them. The WHAR fire is just another example of the vagaries of my profession. Odd, after such a catastrophic conflagration, not to have any fatalities. Disappointing, in a way. I might have gotten some paying customers for a change. The corpse reclining in the chapel right now is a prime example of the difficulties I face. For unfathomable reasons, this bum decided to wander into harvest and summarily drop dead.
Just like that.
Indeed. He died of purely natural causes. Of that I have no doubt.
But why come to harvest to die? You say this happens often. Isn't that a little too much of a coincidence?
I've often puzzled over the situation myself, though I can assure you, young man, that nothing untoward is happening in harvest. On the contrary, it's an indication of our compassion that I put up hobos in the Wayward Hotel, and the Order of the Harvest Moon mandates their prompt burial, even when they are without family or means, and when it entails losses on my part. I'd say it's been a pleasure.
Sorry, Steve. DNA's diner burned down. What a shame. Women running things, that's the problem. If she'd had a man around, that fire never would have happened. What a waste. Damn terrible thing, that business with the TV station. I can't sleep now. Keep waking up in a cold sweat. I'm thinking of getting some fireproof aluminum siding for my garage. Think that's a good idea? Bye now.
It's not often that I get visitors. It's not...
Oh man. Well, that didn't work.
Did you say hello to your father for me? Harvest will never be the same without DNA's diner. Or without DNA, for that matter.
Why not go upstairs and talk to Stephanie? She'd enjoy the company. And while you're upstairs, feel free to floss. Sorry, Steve. I'm too upset to talk right now. I can't believe anyone would burn down the TV station the night of the bake sale. I just hope nothing will stop the Harvest blood drive. And I don't think that anything can. I'm not one to gossip, but I'm sure you've heard that DNA's diner burned down. But did you know she killed herself when she found out? Her and her daughter, too. I hear the sheriff suspects the fire was set. If you ask me, whoever burned down the diner is a murderer, just the same as if he'd blown Edna's brains out personally. Not at all. She wouldn't have killed herself if not for the fire. No, all in all, someone murdered her. And I hope he's happy. Give my regards to your parents.
I'm glad to see you. I feel so alone, cooped up in here. I saw the TV station go up from my window. It lighted up the whole town. It looked like hell. I wished it would consume the whole damn place. And me with it.
Don't talk like that.
I'm sorry. I just can't stand it anymore.
I wish there was something I could do.
Darius, make love to me.
Do it to me. Now. I'm glad to I heard that DNA's diner
Why are you looking at me like that?
Did you torch it, Steve? Jesus. Edna hung herself. And her daughter, too. Steve, what's happening to you?
I don't know. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of all this.
No matter the price, right? Do you mean it?
Yeah. I'm ashamed of the things I've done.
Then you'll stop the initiation process?
Yeah.
Come back and visit me soon, okay?
If it isn't my favorite son-in-law. If it isn't my... Beg pardon?
You've got a peephole in the upstairs.
Well, I'll be... How dare you!
Then you won't mind?
Now...
I guess not.
Well...
I thought... Okay.
DNA's diner is no more, as is Edna herself. She hung herself as soon as she realized what had happened to her beloved establishment. A true entrepreneur and a credit to her nation. Come now. Anyone who spoke with her for 5 minutes would have known what a tragedy the destruction of her diner would be. Still, you sought to torch her diner, and torched it is. You have proven yourself a worthy candidate for initiation. This was only a trial to determine your worthiness for testing. Your initiation into the mysteries of the harvest will soon begin. In the meantime, be patient. Protocols must be observed before initiation may commence.
How I recognize the sign?
You will know when you receive the invitation. Bring it here, and your initiation shall begin.
You can't go into Stephanie's room till the sheriff gets here. He's upstairs, outside Stephanie's room, waiting for the sheriff. Why not go up and chat with him? I'm fixing something for Dwayne. And there's dental floss in the medicine cabinet.
Guess I can forget about the meat, huh?
What do you mean?
Your dad must have pulled some strings. Be sure and check Stephanie's pillow, you lucky bum.
What the hell are you talking about?
You'll see once the sheriff gets here. Stephanie. Things'll never be the same now. Guess I'll be watching TV nights.
Okay, you can come in now, son.
My God. Is that what I think it is?
Yep, it's a spinal cord.
Is it Stephanie?
I can see a resemblance, but I can't be sure.
More pie, Sheriff?
Pie? Don't you realize what's happened?
Oh, indeed I do. I can just hear the tongues wagging at the PTA. Was it suicide?
Never heard of anyone pulling their own spinal cord out before. Off the record, I'd have to say no. No, all in all, I'd say this was death by natural causes.
Natural causes?
You can't live without a spinal cord, son. Nothing unnatural about that. Think I will have some more pie.
Right away.
I can't believe this. This is horrible.
Believe me, you get to the point to where this is routine. Now the only clue we got is that card on our pillow. Take a look at it.
This is practically a confession.
Confession to what, son?
Murder. Isn't that what you're here to investigate?
Son, you don't investigate natural deaths. No point.
Then I'll get to the bottom of this myself.
Yeah. I'm sure you will.
More pie, Sheriff?
Don't mind if I do. I don't suppose it'd hurt for you to take the card, seeing as it was addressed to you. Shucks, I'm sorry I had to read it in the first place, but that's my job. Say, I wonder if there's more pie.
Hello, Steve. Have some pie? Well, what family doesn't have its little problems? If it's not poor dental hygiene, it's a spinal column on the bed.
Can't allow you to take her remains, boy. What kind of sicko are you, anyway?
You received the invitation, but you have not brought it.
I don't understand.
The invitation was not the card, but the spinal cord. It must be presented to me ere I allow you to enter. The mysteries are only disclosed to members of the Order, not initiates. You were provided an invitation. Bring me the skull and spinal cord if you would pass to the world beyond.
I'm so hungry, Steve. So hungry. If I'd been an astronaut, I could afford all the meat I want. The red kind. And the young, pink kind, too.
Hello, Steve. Have some pie? No, Steve. I'm so sorry you just missed it. We just had her bones interred in the family vault in the cemetery. Stop by there if you want to pay your last respects. But you can't get inside. It's sealed.
Sorry, Steve. Steve, I was sorry as all get out to hear about Stephanie. She was a sweet young thing. I used to watch her walk down the street to school every morning, standing on 2 medium-sized apple crates and squinting through the crack in the fence on those days when it didn't hail. I can still imagine her, so pure and innocent, sashaying down the street, while I tried to balance on the rickety crates and pressed against the fence with one hand to steady myself. She never stopped to say hi. But that was probably just because I was totally hidden. I'd like to think that was the case. I'll miss her. Bye now.
It's not often.
Well, Steve. Poor Stephanie. Why, it just breaks my heart, thinking of that poor thing ripped limb from limb and skinned like an animal. You need to forget, Steve. Try to take your mind off of it and get back to work at your father's slaughterhouse.
Sorry, son. I understand the wedding has been offed, along with your fiancée. Just as well. She never got any letters anyway. Next time you...
Think about taking my condolences on Stephanie, Steve. Sweet child. I used to bounce her on my knee.
That's funny. She never mentioned remembering you.
Well, she was pretty young in those days. Nice to see you again, Steve.
I can't talk now, son. I'm busy with this game. That's a tough break, that Stephanie business. If you ask me, she was the victim of a UFO. Just like them cattle mutilations, they stripped her and left what they couldn't use. You see, they use what the doctors call hemoglobin in the blood as fuel for their saucers, and the eyeballs are spark plugs.
They left one of her eyeballs, Clem.
Well, they only need one spark plug, Pete. They's advanced. Yes, sirree. Them aliens is wily. Anytime, Steve.
Son, I've got more important things to do than chew the fat with you. Got to drain my bags.
Can't talk now, Steve. I've got to hose out some entrails. Oh, Steve, how could this terrible thing happen? I'm so sorry. Listen, I know you were mainly taking this job because of the wedding, but for your father's sake, I hope you'll still come to work here. What this business needs is new blood. Don't be such a stranger, Steve. Add my best to your dad.
Young man, your fiancée's death was no doubt a tragic affair for those who knew her, loved her, and so forth. But to me, you simply can't get a nicer assignment. No organs left to remove, no fluids to drain, solvent parents, and no coffin to fuss over. I wish everybody could die as Stephanie did. Although it's true, only her hairdresser will know for sure now. I'd say it's been a pleasure. I'm sorry. Oh my. That's a right shame about Stephanie. Did I tell you? She reminded me of this girl I seen in one of my French postcards afore the missus burnt them up and took the broom to me. Stephanie was such a nice girl. I went over to have a look at the body, but there weren't nothing left attached, hardly. I always wondered what she looked like naked. Reckon someone found out, huh, kiddo? Anytime.
Seeing you here again. My condolences, Steve. When Stephanie was a little girl running through these halls, who would have believed something like this could happen to her? There's always a reason, big guy. There's always a reason. Drop in.
What a good...
Stephen, Class, I want you all to remember that Stephanie Potsdam sat at the same desk that you're sitting in now. And look what happened to her. Mind your P's and Q's, unless you want to wind up like her. Right, Stephen? Really? And I take it you don't believe in predestination?
I don't know.
If you still haven't joined the Order by the time the Harvest Blood Drive rolls around, you will know firsthand. Stop by any time, Stephen.
You have done well. Now let the initiation commence. As your mystagogue, it is requested and required that I turn over this sacred dagger to you to aid you in your quest.
What is this?
You must now enter the lodge. Initiates find it a hostile place.
Are you supposed to help me or get me killed?
I'm starting you on the path of initiation to a very special, very exclusive brotherhood. I am merely the administrator of a test. Whether you view me as an enemy or a friend depends on how well you're prepared to pass.
This thing? You haven't said what it is.
It is a special weapon. Using it will be part of the initiation. You always have a choice, Initiate. Which choices you make matter only to you. Whatever occurs in here is relevant to the great question which you cannot help but answer. What is at issue is whether in answering the question you will find the answers you seek. You will encounter those intent on preventing or prompting your answer, depending on how you look at it. While the assumption is you want to live, dying is easy and provides its own answer, but not for you.
Just tell me, is Stephanie dead or being held within?
The membership director on the second level keeps track of such things.
Oh, great. Then you are against me.
I am the Sergeant at Arms. I am here to ensure that the protocols are observed. Deviation from a protocol shall result in punishment. Remember what I have told you. Now, let the initiation begin.